throughout the year on different topics relevant to youth entrepreneurs. Today's event was designed for aspiring young entrepreneurs, change makers, or even already entrepreneurs in Rwanda or any young person with a brilliant idea to change the world. This event is an opportunity to join a larger community of young entrepreneurs in Rwanda and benefit from year-long access to networking, mentorship, funding, and business skills development opportunities. During the event, you will get introduced to the benefits of being a part of the Yet Rwanda community and the Yet Global community at large. Learn what it takes to become a member and gain an opportunity to network with fellow entrepreneurs and change makers on the call. We are pleased to be joined on the call by Claire, all the way from Switzerland as the Yet Initiative Manager at the International Trade Center, Ifra from Kenya, the founder and CEO of Supermom, and the Yet Community Ambassador for Kenya, Aisha from Uganda, the founder of iProfile Foundation and Hope Hub, and the Yet Community Ambassador for Uganda, as well as Aline from Rwanda, the founder of the Happiness and the Yet Community Ambassador for Rwanda. This year at Impact Hub Kigali, we are pleased to collaborate with the International Trade Center as the Yet Anchor organization for the Yet Chapter Rwanda. Powered by the International Trade Center, the Yet Anchor organization works together with the Yet Ambassador to support young entrepreneurs in the Yet chapter to enhance their capacities as entrepreneurs and to link them to partners, opportunities, and funding. As part of a global network with a focus on building entrepreneurship communities for impact at Impact Hub Kigali, we saw this partnership with ITC as an excellent opportunity to continue serving our purpose and indeed be the home to the innovators, dreamers, and the entrepreneurs who are creating tangible solutions to the world's most pressing challenges. For those who are not familiar with Impact Hub Kigali and what we offer at Impact Hub Kigali, we are part innovation lab, business incubator, and social enterprise community center, offering a unique ecosystem of resources, inspiration, and collaboration opportunities to grow positive impact. Please go to the next slide. Our mission is to serve the community, facilitate collaboration, and drive positive and sustainable change. We focus on three key areas: co-working space, community events, and innovation programs. We have hosted community events around social entrepreneurship. You can go to the next slide. The arts and culture, environmental sustainability, and tech innovation. Our programs span around design thinking sessions, hackathons, bootcamps, innovation challenges, and entrepreneurship workshops. We also work with different partners in our different programs and events. On a global level, we are part of a network of more than 100 hubs in over 50 countries. You can learn more about us on our website and different social media channels. Thank you once again for joining us. I will now welcome Ifra from Kenya to share with us her experience as the Yet Community Ambassador for Kenya. Ifra is a woman who believes that those closest to a problem are the closest to the solution. Ifra is founder and CEO of Supermom, a NECO and Green semi-finalist, and Zisha Fellow, an emerging leader at School Foundation. And in 2016, she was awarded the Young Entrepreneur of the Year 2016 Kenya Award at the UNCTAD 14 Youth Forum. Ifra holds a law degree with LLB honors from the University of Nairobi. Ifra, there is much that I can say about you, but ladies and gentlemen, please allow me to welcome Ifra to tell us more about her experience. In case of any questions or inputs, feel free to type them in the chat or raise your hand. You'll have the opportunity to have them answered during the session. Welcome, Ifra. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Alexa. That was quite an introduction. It always feels odd, you know, when somebody's introducing you, you're like, is that really me? Anyway, I'm really excited to be here today and join, you know, the Rwandan Ye chapter. Rwanda is one of my favorite places in the world. So I'm really excited to be here to network with, you know, the lovely entrepreneurs in the local chapter in Rwanda. And yeah, just to add a bit more, my name is Ifra, as Alexa has said. I am the founder and CEO of Supermom, a social enterprise that focuses on closing the last mile distribution gap for fast-moving consumer goods while empowering women from marginalized communities economically. Our website is www.supermom.co.ke. It's currently under construction, but then as soon as it's up, I'm gonna share it with Alexa and Aline, maybe to share if you wanna learn more about the work that we do. So the reason I'm here today is because I am the co-ambassador of the EA chapter here in Kenya. And just to give you like a brief background of my interaction with YE, I became a member of the YE chapter here in Kenya in 2015. This was at the beginning of my entrepreneurial journey. So in 2015, I'm all new. I wasn't really familiar with, pitching and everything. And I'll find out about this pitching event. There was a startup weekend being hosted by the YE community in Kenya. And they were allowing 10 people to pitch for the event. And here I was with Supermom just starting off. And I decided, why not give it a go? So this was me coming from a point where I really had no idea about pitching. I had never pitched before an audience before. I had no idea, how to go about things. And I remember before the pitching day, we had like a sort of like a drive through, like a run through that was organized by the EA community. And I was able to get, a few tips on how to pitch. And then on the next day now, we had the pitching event and I was able to pitch what Supermom was. So this is really important to me because that was like the first time I ever pitched Supermom. This was at the beginning. I was like 17 years old. I had never pitched before. And this was the first time I ever, did something like that. But then fortunately I was able to come out the winner. I'm not saying, everybody else was bad, but then really this was my first time and they were really amazing enterprises. But then fortunately, Supermom touched the hearts of the judges and I was able to get an opportunity to pitch at the UNCTAD 14 event that was being held in Nairobi during that year, the same year. So this gave me like an opportunity to pitch to a wider audience. So the UNCTAD 14 had a lot of stakeholders, a lot of important people, and it kind of opened my world to a lot of opportunities for Supermom, a lot of opportunities to learn about how to pitch, to learn about how pitching is to different people, to keep key high profile people, and that was really exciting for me. So that was the beginning of my journey with the year chapter here in Kenya. And then after that, it became a community for me. So for me, and I think this is a sentiment that's echoed by a lot of entrepreneurs. It's really important to have a community where, people are also running their own businesses, sort of like you, starting on, learning the ropes of the business, learning how to pitch, learning how to, find investors, learning how to, market your idea and everything. So this community really pushed me forward. So currently serving as the ambassador, my duties include spearheading the local chapter here in Kenya and highlighting the unique challenges that are faced by young entrepreneurs within my chapter. I lead the development of an offline chapter that has 550 plus members. And we organize local meetups and mentorship events for the EA members here in Kenya. We try to provide opportunities for them, introduce them to the key stakeholders within the entrepreneurial ecosystem, and help facilitate like strong mentorship for the EA members and provide like market linkages and other opportunities. It's been, a good journey. I have worked with Claire for a while now, and she has, helped me grow as a person and as an entrepreneur as well. And it's been really exciting, getting access to a wider opportunity, a wider network, a lot of resources on the global like platform, the website, which I think Claire is gonna leave a link to. So yeah, that has been my experience with EA. If you have any other questions, I'm open to answer. I think I'm gonna let Aisha talk about her experience as well. Welcome, Aisha.
Excellent. Thanks, Ifra, for giving us such great insights into the YE community in Kenya. We will now welcome Aisha all the way from Uganda to grace us with her presence. Aisha is an award-winning entrepreneur, trainer, and global shaper. She's also the founder of iProfile Foundation and Hope Hub in Uganda. In addition to her duties as the Ye Community Ambassador for Uganda, Aisha is also a financial literacy facilitator for the Bank of Uganda and a facilitator at the Academy for Women Entrepreneurs. In short, Aisha is a true representation that women can do it all. Aisha, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much, Alexa and everybody else. Can you hear me? Awesome. I'll start off by, I don't know, I'm really excited. So I hope I get the greeting for Rwanda correct. Murakoze, I hope it's right. So I'm pretty much excited to be here and interact with you all. My start of joining the Ye community was back in 2016 as a member. So I came across it online. I applied, joined, the online community. And then at that time we had a former ambassador called Sandra Letio, who was spearheading the local chapter and organizing, breakfast meetings and different summits. So once I joined that chapter at that time, as in my second year of operation with the foundation, and just like any entrepreneur, you're still, bootstrapping, you're getting to learn a few things here and there. But most importantly, one thing I want to re-echo is joining the community, like Ifra echoed out, is a support system, right? From, the online resources, but also the peer-to-peer mentorship. And since then, I've been working closely with the ambassador to create events, but also to go for partnership meetings and kind of, expand our presence in Uganda. Going forward, through the Ye community, I have networked and met quite a lot of people that I have collaborated with. And beyond the collaboration, it's, garnering more skills and building synergies and partnerships, in that when you go anywhere in the world, as long as they're Ye community members, you can, meet up, but also more importantly, broaden your professional and, work linkages. As an ambassador currently, I work with a co-ambassador called Eddie. And since then, we've been working with an anchor partner called Outbooks. But one thing I want to highlight is why it's important for young people to take on leadership roles, is because we understand our needs better, but we also can relate, and get to know the nitty-gritties of what it is that, we are facing, what challenges, and what would be the possible solutions. So it's been very exciting to not only be able to voice out some of the challenges we have as an ambassador, but also to receive feedback from the community members. And together with our anchor partner Outbooks, before we even created the Ye Rise program, we found it very, very crucial to do a needs assessment. Much as our challenges are the same, sometimes they're unique challenges that, we may not capture, and we may not, put into our programming for any, project or initiative. So it's very important that while as young leaders, we think, we are at the center of knowing all our challenges, it's important to involve young entrepreneurs or aspiring entrepreneurs like the ones, on the call today, to just understand what unique challenges they have. So interesting facts about, the report that we got from the assessment is, most of the times as young people, like I said, our needs are not so different, access to financing, mentorship. A lot of us start up businesses and, we're afraid to make it legal. Yet, some of these processes are easy if you have the right, people and channels and plugins. And so with the Ye Rise program, we're looking at creating, a co-design process with the entrepreneurs, so that we don't just have a program and say, okay, the most pressing needs are, financing, access to markets, but there are crucial things that we miss out, like building a team, or, emotional intelligence, timekeeping, etc., which are very, very crucial to fuel any business, but also any entrepreneur. So my role as an ambassador is to, advertise or even champion some of the activities, but also presence. So I think I had a glitch in my internet. Can you guys hear me?
We hear you now, but indeed it did glitch.
Yes. So it's very crucial, like I said, to have a co-design process with young entrepreneurs, and I must applaud the YE Rwanda Hub for the chapter and the Impact Hub for creating such sessions for rising or aspiring entrepreneurs, because it's very crucial to not only just set up a program and tell them, okay, this is what we think is best fit for you, but networking and building your social capital is something that I would also echo. Most of the times, I mean, we run to Claire, when we're stuck somewhere and they're like, oh, Claire, does anyone in your network, do you have anyone in your network that can help us with this? But also vice versa. So social capital as a young entrepreneur is something very, very important to accelerate your business, but also grow your portfolio. And lastly, we as an ambassador, I get to attend different events to popularize, the chapter, but also within my networks, how can I increase more local partnerships and any international partnerships if there are any. So in conclusion, I just wanted to say that entrepreneurship is really not, all rosy. It will get difficult. It will, sometimes you'll feel like giving up, but your reason for starting should be very strong. And most importantly, every expert was once an amateur. So keep learning, keep relearning, keep unlearning, but most importantly, network, network, network. Thank you.
Wow, that was amazing. I hope you're all taking notes, because there is a lot to learn from our speakers tonight. Thank you very much, Aisha, for an amazing speech. We will now jump straight into the Rwanda YE community. Ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome Aline, the YE community ambassador for Rwanda and the founder of The Happiness. Aline is also an investor in real estate, TV business talk presenter. Aline, please grace us with your presence.
Thank you so much, Alexa. Thank you so much, everyone. I'm very glad to be here, but I'm mostly glad to meet other ambassador and co-ambassador from Kenya and Uganda. Have been very much looking forward for this very time. So I'm very glad. I know some of you, your chapter have been really progressing, and it has been my my motivation to really step where you guys are stepping with our own chapter here. And thank you for everyone who joined us today. I'm sure young entrepreneurs who are around here, different entrepreneurs who are around here, you are learning from what other people have been benefiting from here. And now that I'm starting, I'm going to start by mentioning about me and The Happiness. The Happiness is my startup, which I started educating entrepreneurs and women, and that's why have been really like a good place for me, because I could keep on going with what I've been trying to do, reaching out to young entrepreneurs, but also women. And maybe some of you joined our previous session that we had on women, but today we are going to talk about like why you should stay here, why you should find the YE community in Rwanda like your home. For me, when I joined YE, it was a great experience, but I'm kind of part of the team who started YE in Rwanda. And so my journey have been like setting this family that I also want to be part of, the family that I encourage you young entrepreneurs to be part of. And the journey have been really great. I have managed to benefit different things that everyone else has mentioned. And I have had my downtimes, and Claire was there, and everyone else in the community. And it's been really a great experience. As an entrepreneur, there are a lot of ups and downs, as they just mentioned, and there are bureaucracy to navigate. There are access to finance that you need. There are a lot of challenges, and usually by yourself, you can't really step forward. And that's why there is this chapter, there is this year which is supported by ITC. And we get different skills by online platforms. I hope you guys, you have registered on year to be like member on the community, on the online community of year. But also there is also like an offline activity, like offline activities where we have like the Rwandan chapter. And that's why we have this program today. And that's why we have had different events on women empowerment. And that's why we are looking for more, like there are so much to expect even when it comes to finance, like how to be investment ready, how to talk about, let's say, like your failures so that someone else can learn from. There are a lot of things which are going to come around, including the access on the market, really a lot of amazing things. But mostly this is going to be your family, it's going to be your home, especially in these times of COVID where sometimes you feel like, how should I innovate, or how should I reinvent myself? How should I work on my business model based on what is going on? So this is the place where we are actually restructuring our businesses with what have been happening. Like this platform have been providing a lot of access, providing a lot of skills, like digital marketing skills, which are some of the skills we need very much during these times. So I strongly encourage you to join. If you haven't registered, please do so, because we also have like a WhatsApp group. Please join us and just be part of us and discuss the challenges you have, and be part of the community, and then get to learn also based on different programs which are online on the website, so that you can also step forward, so that you feel like you are not alone, so that you're not there like wondering, how can I do this? Like how am I going to navigate the market? Because I realize as entrepreneurs, we tend to take things very personal. So when you join, you're going to realize actually that everyone is going through the same thing. And by being here together, by helping each other, it's going to be a lot more manageable and a lot more easier. And a lot of opportunities are going to be accessible as well. So guys, again, just I hope you registered. If you haven't, just reach out, text here directly, so that we can get your contact, so that we can have you in the WhatsApp group, and so that we can also guide you to join our chapter here in Rwanda. Thank you so much.
Amazing. Thank you very much, Aline. You gave us such a great speech, and for those who are here on the call, once again, we are welcoming you into the community Rwanda. We're looking forward to welcoming you if you're not already part of it. Right now, we're going to jump into the networking time, where you will be sent to a breakout room. Get an opportunity to pitch your venture to the people in your breakout room, and also network, connect, and exchange, business contacts. So let's give it a few minutes, few seconds. Shouldn't take minutes.
If I can just quickly do a brief introduction about the ITC while I'm setting up these breakout rooms. I wanted to just mention that for those who aren't aware of what the International Trade Center is, we're a joint agency under the United Nations and the World Trade Organization. And we work directly to support MSMEs, so micro, small, and medium enterprises around the world to access international markets. And we do that in a collaborative way. So that's why we're here partnering with Impact Hub today, because we see that Impact Hub has a demonstrated impact on the ground, and that it's really supporting youth entrepreneurs in a way that adds value to their skills and to their networks. What I wanted to mention as well, I think many of you have joined the Yay community platform, which is great, but I strongly advise you to, send a message to Ifra, to Aisha, to Aline via the platform to connect, to ask questions. I really liked the part that Aisha mentioned about the idea of social capital, and actually, I know that everyone here, we're always looking for finance. That's the number one thing that young entrepreneurs need is access to finance. But the interesting thing about social capital is that having a strong network can actually lower the cost of doing business. Because when you have a strong network, you can actually call on the people in your network to either do certain tasks for you at a discounted rate. They can provide links to people that you might not have been able to connect with otherwise, who can provide you with services. So you can actually see it as a way to lower the cost of doing business by having this strong network that you can really rely on times of need. And as Aline just mentioned, digital marketing skills, of course, they're more important than ever, but perhaps you don't know someone who is a digital marketing expert or who is a social media expert, someone who is good at creating content online, someone who can help you set up your e-commerce shop. These kind of people you can find in your network and who might be able to provide their services to you at a lower cost than someone you just find on Google and have no connection to. So that's what we really want to encourage you to use the Yay community platform for, to actually seek out those contacts, use the Yay chapter to actually leverage your network to make the cost of doing business cheaper for you and to help you in those times of need to actually fall back on people in your community who can support you to get through those tough times. So just wanted to add that in before I go and set up the breakout rooms. So I'm going to create 3 different rooms, and let's see, just quickly make sure that we have Aline in one, and that we have Impact Hub in one and me in one. All right. Should be, oh, wait. Why do we only have 2 rooms? Sorry, 1 second. I know. Okay. Perfect. Let's go. Okay. Good. I'm in the wrong one. Let's keep going.
Yes. All right. So thank you very much, Claire, for creating this breakout room, and welcome everyone who's here with me. So
Absolutely, yes.
Hi, guys. So thanks for Ifra and Aisha. I know that you guys mentioned you have to leave to go do your prayers and the iftar. So really appreciate you taking the time to be here. If you guys want to connect with Ifra and Aisha, as I put in the chat, please feel free to connect with them on the Yay community platform. There's a messaging feature that you can use. I don't know, Amina, you look like you have a question. If you want to ask a question before they go,
I just want to say, I also want to go, but first of all, I want to hear from you guys what you do, because this is my first time to be here with you. So I'm very happy and excited. And I hope to reach to Aisha and Irfa next time if they are going to leave.
Definitely. I think I know Ifra just left, but Aisha, I don't know if you want to respond to that quickly.
Okay, I'll just have like 6 more minutes before I leave. So Amina, just give a snippet of what I do. So I work with children, youth, and refugees and migrants as well on 3 focus areas, which is financial literacy, entrepreneurship, and capacity building, which we call leadership. So over the years, according to the financial inclusion strategy in Uganda, 16% of Uganda's population have saving bank accounts. And Uganda being one of the most entrepreneurial countries, but with the highest failure rate because of several reasons. It could be mentorship, it could be lack of access to capital. There's no ending answer to what makes businesses fail, but there are few surveys and studies that have come up and as to why a lot of businesses fail. So we realized it's very crucial to set the foundation for children to learn money management skills but also kickstart their road to saving journey at a young age. So to date, we've opened up 4,000 bank accounts for children, and they're saving and it's growing, and we're trying to see how to invest that money in treasury bills and bonds, which is low risk investment, but also partnering with different institutions like the National Social Security Fund to see how we can have licensed people to be able to invest this money for children so that it multiplies, so that by the time they're entrepreneurs, they have startup capital. But also Uganda being one of the largest countries that hosts refugees and migrants, we realize there's a gap, and we need to boost up their capacities in terms of accelerating their skills and businesses, but also building an ecosystem for them. Also work with the central bank as a financial literacy trainer. I'm also currently doing my international certification with the National Finance Council. But more importantly, and as a YEA ambassador, I get to meet various young entrepreneurs who I learn from as well, but also, we learn from each other, but also creating or curating different, master classes, depending on the needs, that would be best valuable to accelerate their businesses. So for instance, if I'm registered, if I have, all the legal documents, perhaps that wouldn't be my need, and my need would be, investment readiness, depending on the scale of growth for your business. But one thing I wanted to re-echo, Amina, is as a young entrepreneur, whether, you're at an advanced stage, it's very important to, keep learning and always, broadening your scope of knowledge, but most importantly, networking and building your social capital, but also garnering more skills. Because I mean, when the lockdown happened, so many businesses shut down because they didn't have, a strategy to keep afloat, or they didn't have an emergency fund. So as entrepreneurs, we always have to keep steadfast, keep learning, keep networking. And like Leah said, it's very important to know how do you reduce on costs within your network, synergies. So yeah, I hope I answered your question and tried to exhaust it.
Yeah, thank you.
Great. Yeah, Aisha, Ifra, feel free to leave whenever you want, but maybe Amina, you could tell us about your business and what you do. To start things off, we'll do a round of introductions to everyone, but we can start with you, Amina.
Okay, thank you very much. Amina Nijana, and of course, I live in Rwanda. So I'm a co-founder and the CEO of Thousand Hills Traveler. It is an online platform that connects tours and then travelers just from different countries. And even though they can be in Rwanda, but we connect them to different tourism and hospitality services. So it's like we have a platform that you can find different things like booking for hotels, you can book for apartments, you can book for rental properties, all of those things that are included in the tourism and hospitality sectors. So we find that there is a gap. Like you can find a platform where you can book for a hotel, but not at the same time you can't book for the car rental. So we think like we can build a system that can help people to find just all services on one platform. Actually, that's what we do. Thank you.
That's excellent. Thank you for sharing. And I don't know, maybe you're looking for some kind of technical expert who can help you with your platform development, with any kind of graphic designer. If we have any of those in the group, feel free to share your info with Amina in the chat. Let's build those networks. So I'm just going to go to the next person down the line. So I'm sorry if I mispronounce your name, but Theoneste, you're the person that I see next. If you want to unmute yourself and give your introduction to everyone.
Yes, thank you very much. I'm here by names of Theoneste Nyomugabo. I came from Rwanda, and I am the founder of a startup called Huawei Agro Solution Africa, which provide farmers access to necessary tools to have a sustainable farming. We provide farmers with expertise, and we provide them with access to financing and technology that first focusing on providing them with knowledge of how they can do their farming activities in professional ways. Okay, thank you very much.
Awesome. Thank you for that intro. And yeah, if there's anyone who is working in the same space and you want to share your info, please go ahead and post it in the chat. So I'll go next to Ignace. If you'd like to unmute your mic and give us your introduction. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name.
Thank you very much, Claire. My name is Ignace Rotsins. I'm from Rwanda. I am the founder and CEO of a startup called Plankton. Plankton is a platform where employees or people who are affiliated to a bank can access the retail banking system online without any due charges. We are working with numerous banks and numerous insurance at the beginning. We are very young. We launched a few weeks ago. And yeah, I'm very happy and interested to be immersed into this community. It's new for me. I learned about it a few months ago, and I couldn't lose this opportunity to join you guys. And please, I'm testing my platform. So if you're willing to test some of my products, and I'll be glad. Thank you very much.
Great. Thanks for being here, Ignace. And yeah, I think you can learn a lot from the others in the group. Maybe Amina, maybe Aisha, you could provide guidance on testing a platform, as you guys both have very nice websites, very nice platforms. You can maybe provide Ignace with some constructive feedback on what he can do. So cool. Up next, I see Emmanuel. Emmanuel, if you'd like to unmute yourself and give your intro, please go ahead.
Thank you so much, Clara. Can you hear me?
We hear you loud and clear.
Okay, thank you so much. My name is Emmanuel Ndichonguye. I'm the founder and the CEO of Future Focus Rwanda. We have STEM education for kids. STEM is an abbreviation of science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. So what we do, we train the young student from 4 years to 17 years old by using robotics, coding, and 3D designing. So we are just starting. We have started our program during these pandemic seasons since August 2020. So we are now working here in Rwanda with different schools, some private schools, and other STEM learning center here in Kigali.
Great, thank you. That is really interesting. And I definitely can think of some people working in STEM training in other countries. I know of a young woman in Botswana that I could link you to, and also a young woman in Ghana who can maybe provide you with some insights. So super cool. Thanks, Emmanuel, for your intro.
You're welcome. And that will be more helpful. Thank you.
Will do, will do. So next, and again, I apologize if I'm mispronouncing your name, Moise, if you'd like to unmute yourself.
Thanks, Greya. My name is Moïse Tuyizere. It's a French name, but also for English speakers, they can call me Moses. I'm okay with that. And I work with a non-profit organization called Rwanda ICT Chamber. It's a member-based organization that helps or that represents the interests of private tech companies here in Rwanda. We support them in different areas such as advocacy, access to market, access to finance, and skills development or capacity building. And we do that by initiating different programs and even the hubs. We've established so far 2 hubs that supports startups, tech startups. I'm sure some of the people on this call knows 250 startups and FinTech Hub. And I saw some of the people that we've been interacting with. I know 1,000 Hills Traveler from IBS, Kichichiro. Yeah, so we work with the private companies, tech companies, and just like private Sector Federation of Rwanda. We support them to build the ICT ecosystem in Rwanda. Yeah, that's pretty much what we do.
Great. Well, I think there's some people who can definitely benefit from the services that you offer in this chat. So that's excellent. Thanks for being here to all of you, and thank you for your introductions. So I have some questions that I think we could use to get the conversation started. But I wanted to start off talking about the pandemic. I know it's high on everyone's mind, and it's affected everyone in different ways. But we always hear about the negative effects of the pandemic and how it's cost businesses and what kind of hurt it's caused on the communities. But I was wondering if any of you have a success story that's come out of the pandemic, like a way that you were able to pivot your business because you weren't able to meet people in person, or any kind of business revenue that came because now we are all working from home. If you have any kind of success story that you can tell us about and how you made it work during the pandemic, we'd love to hear from you. So I leave the floor to anyone who wants to jump in. Or maybe there's no success stories. I'm trying to be positive and not always make it negative, because I think we all get. Go ahead.
Yes. All right. So some of the success stories, I wouldn't say it is in the financial capacity wise, but in the way your product.
Can you speak up? Can you speak up, please? So I can't hear you.
All right. Yeah. Can you hear me now?
Okay.
All right. So yeah, I was saying some of the success stories on my side, at least, it's not on the financial capacity wise or gathering more clientele or so. But I would say now most of my products makes more sense. I don't know some of you if you have been into this. I've been developing products since 2017 and technology product because probably I dreamed to be on top of a tech firm. But most of them were not making sense to most of the people that I was talking to, or to most of my clients. And with the pandemic, everyone was shifting online, even the government, even the farmers, even everyone was shifting online. And this gave some momentum to some of the products, and I launched some of them and received some grants and developed some of them. But this was a really huge leap on my side here.
Okay, great. So you really found product market fit and more clients because of the pandemic, because everyone had to go digital.
Exactly.
Okay. Amina, I don't know if you want to jump in. I see that your mic is unmuted. I'm putting you on the spot.
Actually, I can have something to say. Maybe we didn't get on our platform, we didn't get like clients as we were expecting to get, but we get connected. We get people like, I'm now here with you. So this is something big I can say. So we find time to get connected, to revise our products, and to improve something that's maybe in the future, it can be more productive.
Definitely. Well, it's good that you see the positive light of the challenge, for sure. Ifra, do you want to add? I see you unmute yourself.
Yeah, so as a couple of people have said, it hasn't been exactly that good in terms of finances, or improving the amount of revenue that we earn. But then it has limited a couple of activities, but I think the best bit has been it's given us time to sort of monitor activities and just develop the systems that we currently have. So personally for me, I was having a really hard time detaching myself from Supermom, because it's very personal to me, and I was finding it really hard to find a balance between letting Supermom grow on its own away from me, and just delegating the activities that I have and just letting people do their thing, which I don't know if other people are facing. Once you start something, it's like you get very attached to it. So this pandemic has given me time to actually let people do things. It's much easier because they're not in the field, so I'm not that worried about them messing up things. But then at least it's given me a chance to let people do things, delegate activities, strengthen our current systems, and just make them better, like if it's in terms of financing, like we've improved the financial system that we use. In terms of like, collecting data and the research, we've like found a formal, proper way to collect the information that we collect when we're doing research on these marginalized communities. So I think this is going to be good for us in terms of our future plans of, using data as a source of revenue as we grow. So it's good to actually have our data already, properly stored. So that's been good for us. At least we've learned how to properly manage this. We've had, it's felt a bit more like the interaction with the women, it's much positive, it's much, much more personal compared to before, where, we were doing is looking to expand. And, now it's we interact with them a lot more, so we understand them a bit better. So yeah, it's been good. Also, it's allowed us to provide a lot more services, which, at the beginning I was not that happy about because it was a lot more work, but then it's allowed us to, impact a lot more people, which has been good for the general good of Supermom.
Definitely. So again, you rose to the challenge. All right, Moise, would you like to go?
Yeah, so I would say that with the this pandemic, it has boosted the level of digital transformation. So many institutions and organizations are adopting digital tools, and even the general public, they are now digitally transformed. And I can tell from the experience before the invasion of COVID-19, we were counting around only 7 e-commerce companies in Rwanda. And after like 3 months only, when the COVID reached in Rwanda, we were counting more than 17 companies, e-commerce companies. And all these companies have more than at least 50 usual clients, like on a daily basis, they can receive more than 50 clients. And now from the recent research we did, we have more than 50 e-commerce companies. And this is a sign of, digital transformation that we have never experienced before. And this is just in e-commerce, but there are other areas that where we experienced more innovative solutions and more entrepreneurs or more startups were created due to, people have found opportunity in this situation. Yeah.
That's a really big success story. Yeah, I'd say it's a really good takeaway to hear that young people are rising to the challenge and are kind of being forced into challenging themselves, learning new digital skills, seeing what are the problems that exist in their communities and figuring out how to address those using technology. So good thing that you're there to support them. Cool. We have a newcomer, guys. We have someone who joined late, so maybe I'm really sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name. Abhinav, if you'd like to introduce yourself quickly to the group, just so we know who you are and where you're from and a little bit about your business, please unmute your mic.
Hey, everybody. I just saw the Zoom link. I wasn't able to, I don't know, for some reason the Yay website wasn't working. But hey, everybody, it's Abhinav. I run an ag tech startup in Kigali, Rwanda. Though currently I'm right now in Boston, but we focus on creating services for farmers and cooperatives to deal with post-harvest and specifically post-harvest losses. So.
Awesome, thanks. Well, we have some people who are in a similar space here. So maybe if you'd like to add your link to your website or your email in the chat box, we can definitely foster some linkages.
Definitely, I will drop that in there right now.
Cool.
Chat.
Excellent. So we were just talking about, because obviously there's a lot of discussion of the negative outcomes of the pandemic, we wanted to highlight some of the positive lessons learned or skills you learned or ways that you approach the pandemic. If you'd like to share one with the group, please go ahead. Abhinav, that's for you. Okay.
Sorry, I was just trying to unmute it.
No worries.
Yeah, I mean, the pandemic is still going on, right? So it's definitely challenging. So I think it's been challenging for all of us. But it has shed us light on just I think one of the good things about it is there's definitely a much more concrete need for our solutions that we're offering, and then also give us a time to expand the services that we want to focus on and pivot around a bit. Because for us, some of the products we were making affordable cold rooms to be used as a rental models, and they were, at least in the Rwandan market, it was challenging for us to acquire customers on that end. But more than ever, it has allowed us to expand our services and focus more on vertically integrated solutions for value chains, where we are now dealing with much more logistics of acquiring produce and then getting it right to customers. So it has shed its light about like why it's important that we're in that field, but then also what's the greater good that we can be doing. So that's it. And then the pandemic is still going on, right? So it definitely poses more challenges, but it's exciting in that time that it lets us not have a status quo or be stable or stagnant in doing one thing, but seeing where we can deliver.
Excellent. Yeah, we have some other people who are running tech platforms here. So I think a lot of the lesson learned can be around what kind of strategies or solutions you guys have done to acquire new clients during this time. If there's anything that maybe worked really well in managing your online platforms, these things we'd love to hear more of. If you want to unmute yourself, or if you want to put it in the chat. I mean, what have been some kind of like best practices for those who are managing platforms or working with technology here that you've come across since the pandemic, or since all time for that matter? Anyone want to go? No? Shy?
I will just drop one thing. I think it is, and this is not just a pandemic thing, but it's always a continuous journey, but just keep checking in with your customers and really finding out what are their needs and their problems. They continuously change. They definitely had changed during the pandemic. So, not only that the businesses were having a hard time dealing for whatever reason with lockdown, curfews, finance and the economy is just being challenged. So there's maintain those relationships, and how you can also find other opportunities on what you could be helping with them, because at the same time, often if you're building B2B businesses, you may be critical more than ever in providing them services or solutions that are going to be crucial for them to grow their businesses or sustain it, at least, right? So a lot of businesses are suffering because overnight they are, for whatever reason, they're shut down. So just maintain those relationships, and that will take whoever's building whatever business, right, that will take you guys further on that.
Yeah, that's great insight, and I can echo that. That checking in with your customers and continuing to understand their challenges and the hurdles they're facing, and how you can work with your solution to help them to overcome those things. That's an ongoing process. You never find a solution and it's like, this is the solution from now until eternity. It's, constantly working to adapt. So you have now Moise's email in the chat box. We have Theoneste shared his LinkedIn. Abhinav has also shared his LinkedIn. So connect on there. I also shared the link to the Yay Rwanda chat, but I'll just share it again so you can connect after this session. We only have a few minutes left, so I wanted to kind of hear from you guys. What is, obviously I work at a big UN agency. People think that we have lots of money, but even we struggle with funding. So I wanted to ask you guys if you could ask for one thing of, the UN, of a bank, of an NGO, of a big organization that claims to support you in your work. What type of support would you ask for? What would you need to grow your business? I leave it open to the floor. Okay, I'm going to call on someone since everyone seems to have gotten shy all of a sudden. Go ahead.
Yes, thanks, Kreya. I think that's a difficult question to ask because to answer because I would ask so many things from especially from ITC, International Trade Center, but since we are an umbrella organization that represents the interest of the rest of the private tech companies, and with the consideration of our vision, of course, my request to the UN in regard of supporting us would be to focus on upgrading standardization in Rwanda in terms of upgrading the standards of the companies to the global level. We have been struggling with our local entrepreneurs because we try to partner with different institutions, global institutions, to help them to export their solutions, digital solutions to foreign market, but they always struggle to fit in these markets because they are still a lower standard. And if we can collaborate together to help them upgrade themselves to the global standard, then that will be very, very helpful to the ICT ecosystem here in Rwanda.
Excellent. Thank you for that input. I'm glad this was recorded, so I will remember to come back to this after because this is really ITC's bread and butter. So thank you for that, Risa. Anyone else? Because we have 1 minute left. Anyone else?
Can I go?
Yes,
I go next?
please.
Actually, I want to add on what Moise was saying. I don't know if maybe I'm a Rwandan or just kind of loving the country, but I see like Rwanda is a nice place. Everyone can start a business. We can host a lot of meetings. It's like we need a change. We need to be recognized. We need to have this kind of platform to see what we are doing. How is the country? Actually, we are the driven service country. So that can be very nice. Yeah.
Excellent. Thank you for that. Yep, I agree. More action is needed. But I hope that you feel events like this where you are networking, they still add value. At least I have been told that they add value. So I hope that you guys have found today valuable. Again, I encourage you all to join the WhatsApp chat. I'm going to close the breakout room. So we'll go back to the big room and we'll just reconnect with everyone. So hang on 1 second. I'm going to close the rooms. We have 50. Welcome back. Welcome back. Okay, some people still in the breakout room, so we just give them a few more seconds. And I know some people joined in late, so sorry if you didn't get to take full advantage of the networking. As everyone joins back from the breakout rooms, I would like to invite you all to share any, profiles, any links, any calls for help or support. Go ahead and post those in the chat now before we close up. If you heard from someone and you really liked their idea and you want to connect, be sure to send that in the chat box now before we just quickly wrap up this session. All right. So
I would like to invite, in this session, we realize that some people are willing to collaborate with the others. I would like to invite everyone to leave their, let's say, their WhatsApp contacts so that in case that the discussion ended up before you exchange the numbers so that you guys can get in touch in the context of collaboration. But also, we can also use the same contacts to get you guys in the year group, year Rwanda chapter group, so that you stay connected with with the family here.
Yes, I like that we're calling it a family. I definitely agree. As we mentioned, use this network, leverage it. Small but mighty networks have power. Rely on your fellow young entrepreneurs and others who are in this session. It's really important that we create these interlinked networks. Thanks to everyone who joined today. I'm going to let maybe Alexa say some final remarks on behalf of Impact Hub, but I want to share that it was really interesting from my side hearing the needs of you guys and what have been your success stories from pivoting through the pandemic. I also want to mention that we're going to make this a regularly occurring event. So while Alexa is talking, I'm going to just quickly post a poll to hear from you guys whether you liked this event, whether you didn't like it. And yeah, then if you have suggestions for other activities that you would like the Yay chapter to do to better connect the network, you can also post that in the chat now. So Alexa, I'll leave it to you for some, and Aline, if you want some last remarks, please go ahead.
Great. I will let Aline go and then I'll come in later.
For me, I would like to thank everyone to join. We was almost what we targeted. Thank you so much for joining us. And in the networking session, it was amazing. I believe the next time we can have a little bit longer session because we really need it. And we was talking about collaboration. We was talking about moving from idea stage to starting. And I think there is really so much we can learn from each other. That's why Yay community is here. So guys, leave your WhatsApp. I really recommend it so that you stay connected also on the WhatsApp group. And if you haven't registered, also register. I'm going to share with you the link so that you can also register and stay connected. Thank you so much.
Perfect. Thank you very much. There isn't much to say because I feel like we have already mentioned a lot, but I would say the event was amazing and it was amazing having all of you here. We hope to have you in our future events that will be coming up every month. Every month we'll have a different event and we hope to keep connected with you. Thank you very much.
Thanks, everyone. Have a good rest of your evening and look forward to more networking nights and connecting with more of you in the future. So thanks, everyone. Have a good evening.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.